sons and his daughters, I'm feeling sins with faces. Iniquities of their heart, blood mercy is for nation. Life lives in God, waiting to put their work. My young reach that up, for his sons and his daughters, I'm feeling sins with faces. Iniquities of their heart, blood mercy is for nation. Life lives in God, waiting to put this work. My young reach that up.
Desperate level to have to go and obtain drugs from somewhere. Before we even get there, we'll just deal with the aftermath that the drugs are there. Who would drive? Hold on. Who would drive themselves to go get it and use it? And who would drive themselves, or what's the cause that would drive somebody to go get it and sell it to somebody to use it that looks just like it?
There's many different causes.
Give me one.
I'll give you one that y'all love.
No. Not to use it. Maybe to sell it.
Use it when you're trying to escape it.
Escape what?
Stay positive.
Again, people aren't smoking crack because they're poor.
They're selling things. They're selling their wealth.
Hold on. I just said to sell it might be a cause, right? Poverty. Poverty might be the cost of selling it. What would be the cost of using it? Yeah, nobody sits around saying, "Oh my God, I'm just so poor. I need to go get me some crack." If you're poor, how do you get crack? Paying for what?
Paying for poverty.
What I'm saying is, just because you now added a different word to it, you're saying poverty is a reason. And I'm telling you that, because you said you know people that have gotten shot by. Do you know any of your friends, family? No, friends, family members, loved ones, whatever, that smoke crack because they're poor?
They never thought that.
So you don't know anybody that smokes crack? Do you know anybody that knows anybody that smokes crack? Have you ever heard any testimony that they do so because they're poor?
I don't think
Because that's so. But you're giving me. If you don't deal with it, recognize you're giving me an answer to a question I'm asking you. And if you don't know that question, then this will open the whole conversation as to what you're trying to ignore. There is a residual theme. There's been a consecutive sequence of events that leads to people being so broken and in despair, and they then start to experience such pain. And if you want to go and say poverty, where did this poverty come from?
just economic problems,
Like what?
regulations,
Right? And so how does that
disinvestment from the community.
hold on, wait. Disinvestment to the community, economic problems, so on and so forth. Why is it targeting one demographic of people more than another?
Why is it targeted?
Why?
I would say it's not more than another.
It is, because it's disproportionately affecting the black community than anybody else.
Trailer park is just as poor as the urban community.
No. Thank you. Come on. We're not sitting here telling you that there are no poor white people. We can go and find a homeless white person.
What I'm saying is there's a different culture. The whole set of drugs is different than trailer park community.
Now plug that into what we just talked about. It's like when I ask you something, you just branch off and start talking about give me some random facts, and it has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Why is the economic problems that's causing poverty and striking up pain in people that's causing them to either use or deal drugs? Why is that economic problem affecting one demographic of people more? You brought up the trailer park, but then he countered that to say, yeah, but the poor or the poverty-stricken black community is bigger than all the trailer parks in America combined.
You know what? I wouldn't say it's
What is the poorest community? What's the poorest demographic of people in America right now? It's the African American community. Poverty. Right? So me and you agree that poverty is hitting the so-called black Americans more than any other demographic in the country. We agree on that? Okay. You said poverty is as a result of economic problems. Why are these economic problems affecting black people more than anybody else?
look at the toxicity in the black it is a regulation. It's just investment.
Where you at, youngster?
Nah, nigga, I ain't never played that bullshit. This
Where
game,
you
that
at?
shit garbage as
That shit
fuck.
like that
That
shit
shit
search.
garbage, nigga. That
That
ain't no
shit's like
goddamn
that
search,
shit
nigga.
search. Yeah, you don't, but you
Nah,
didn't pick
man.
up nobody. You could
Nah,
have
man.
won, but you
You
didn't
got
pick up
me in a mode
nobody.
I wasn't
Well, you
even
was
expecting it
selfish.
ready for.
Nah, you was
And you
selfish.
camped it out,
No,
nigga. You
you
wasn't
was
trying to
selfish. No,
assist
I didn't. I
motherfuckers
clutched.
or nothing.
What you
You ain't
talking about?
pick
And I
nobody
played the
up,
bomb.
nigga.
And I had a bomb play. You better look at that.
Cut it out. Stop it.
Better look at that
Stop
shit.
it.
Better look at that shit, man.
Stop it.
Go back to, even if you go back to 10 years after slavery, okay? The Civil War. Had the lowest unemployment rate, okay? We were working.
Yeah, there was no unemployment rate at that time.
We were building businesses. We were building communities. And then also hear argument of like, okay, when they intermix the economy that caused like the back economy.
Wait, because I was about to say that.
Yeah.
You brought up 1920s, right? Guess what? In the 1920s, we're almost at 90. We're right at 90% of the black community under the poverty line, but below poverty.
Yeah.
20 years later, in 1940, it's still around 87%.
No, it went up to 60.
No. What you're talking about in 1960, it drops and damn near cuts in half to 47%.
And the literacy rate doubled. That's
What
well.
I'm
Biggest time in history.
only thing we're doing is we're just going down the line. So what ended up happening from the time of 1960 into 2023, where we see this poverty-stricken crack cocaine selling and using community? How does that then happen?
How does that happen?
What are the forces of event? You have to understand, when you lay a premise, all I'm doing is following. In 1920, 90% under the poverty line of black community. 20 years later, 1940, we're about 87%. Then there's an economic boom in the black community within the next 20 years, and it drops to 47%. So what you're telling me, and this is in 1960, this is 80 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Or excuse me, this is 60 years ago. Why? Or what is the economic problems that's causing us to deal and sell?
Relative poverty.
Explain relative poverty and how it applies to what we're talking about.
When you have a community next to another community, it's not that someone's not eating or something like that. It's not that you're dying of starvation. It's that the community next to you has more wealth. And so you have relative poverty. It's basically somebody driving a Lamborghini and you're driving a Camry.
Okay.
And so you have this relative poverty.
No. Because that's not even true, because there's a standard of what poverty is and what it's not. There is a threshold that we can literally look at, and to be able to then generate data to say somebody is at the poverty line, above it, or below. Right. So it's not looking at it like, oh, well, I make $100,000 a year, but I live in Beverly Hills, so I'm in poverty. No, I'm not.
But wasn't that the same thing?
Or because I drive a
Wasn't that the same thing with Tulsa, Oklahoma, which you brought up earlier? Wasn't a black person circulate that money 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in the neighborhood? And the poor white people across the way had a problem with that, so then they walked on the line and helped them.
So the white community in Tulsa, they were okay with that. They felt
Let me ask you a question. What was the demographics of the people that did bomb us?
what ended up happening.
What was the demographics of the people that did bomb us?
Is the states
What was the demographic of the people that did bomb us? The only way we can have these conversations is we're actually doing them. What are you talking about? What was the ethnic demographic of those that did that to us?
Why does that happen?
Listen, this is what we're going to do. We have to reverse engineer this conversation so that you understand what we're coming from.
Would it matter?
You said, that the so-called white men have done to black people. You ignored that question and said, well, what do we do to ourselves? You said, who does more? Is there anything that they've done to us that we have not done to ourselves? And then I turned around and asked you a question. I said, wait. So you saying that they've done the same thing? He said, listen, when you go to the hood, running down the question. I mean, the conversation. He said, when you go to the hood, are you scared of white people or black people? I said, I'm scared of both. Because it's not the fact that I'm not aware of what my people can do. Then we start talking about, well, what are the things that puts us in such a position to make us against each other, sell dope to each other, X, Y, Z?
So we got to what is causing it.
No, you have not. What is causing it?
No, what are you telling it at? So what is
I'm telling you that the conditions.
I already said
I got you.
poverty and
Right. And no. All I did was when you put poverty on the table, I walked with you. If it's poverty, who's causing the poverty? When you want to talk about the civil
we're doing it.
you took us all the way back to 1873, 75. You said 10 years after slavery.
And by saying, oh, well, 2023, so I take you back to 1920, which was more racist at that time. So how were we doing better? How were we doing better as a community then?
No. Listen, here's where Omawan at? You're conservative, correct?
Muhammad Aghi.
Well, you're conservative, correct? Republican. Hey, listen, we're just pretty much your stance is that when we de-invested into the community, we stopped being entrepreneurs, right? We stopped valuing education. In our communities that are suffering from poverty, right? He said, so what you're gonna say is that we stop investing in education. No school choice. We stop investing in education. We stop following Judeo-Christian values, right?
Yeah,
Do you follow Judeo-Christian values? Okay, I like it.
No.
Understand. So saying all of that to say, you're saying this is the reason why we're suffering and having such issues, right? And then you brought up school choice. Who's affecting our ability to choose whatever school we go to? You said regulations. Who's in charge of such regulations? Democrats, right? No. I already knew he was gonna go there. You gotta understand something what he's saying, and I actually follow. Looking for you to a degree.
He's in policy.
No. His premise is patriotism. That's your foundation. That's why when you walked up, you said, "Oh, you're about America." He's like, I mean, yeah, I am. Because as a conservative, as a Republican, it's patriotism. And if we're dealing with patriotism, they're saying everything that you have to say against this country, which you're going to place on general across the board white people, he's like, no, it's actually Republicans. I mean, it's actually Democrats. It's not the Republicans.
That's left wing, right wing stuff.
Let me right.
That's fine.
No. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Watch this though. It took us back to the Civil War, right? Were there black people fighting on the side of keeping themselves in slavery? On the southern side.
There were Native.
Were there blacks, Negro? Yes. Fighting on the side of the South. They were fighting on the Confederate side. Do you think that they were voluntarily doing that? Do you think that they went into that with knowledge and understanding that I'm fighting this war to keep myself on a plantation and in slavery?
They were promised. They were
Manipulated.
Hold on. So that means. So if I ask you a question, that
Like, you gotta think.
were they aware? And you say yes, they were aware, but then you turn around and say that they were aware.
Some of them were aware.
Aware of what?
Aware that they were fighting to enslave their own people.
No, to enslave themselves.
Right? Listen.
To enslave themselves.
Maybe there was a promise.
Do you think that that's a intellectually healthy perspective and mindset? To go and fight a war to keep yourself in slavery?
I would say.
Do you think that that's healthy mentally?
I would say for some of them it's a self.
Do you think that that's mentally healthy to fight on the side of the war to keep you in slavery? Would you ever do it?
People are selfish.
Would you ever fight a war that's going to keep you on a plantation in chains and whipped and force you to work all damn day for nothing, for slop, to get fed with a damn spoon in your hand?
And most of the time, those brothers were doing that stuff because they didn't want to be killed.
It's called Stockholm Syndrome. Are you familiar with what Stockholm Syndrome is? Right? It's developing an affinity for your country as a means of survival because you know that if you rebel, Civil War to even put us in position to be patriotic, because right after the Civil War or during the time of the Reconstruction era is where black people even got involved in politics because they were trying to advocate and push for laws that was going to protect us while we stay in a country that has been built on our enslavement. You see how that doesn't make any sense? Again, if I ask you, it's like you don't give me an answer. Would you, being enslaved in a country for hundreds of years, hold on, would you be in a country enslaved for hundreds of years, and now they allegedly let you off of plantation? Are you going to stay in this country and say, well, I'm going to fight for rights? Are you?
Are we all just
No. I'm here because
to fight
no,
for the rights?
hell no. Hell no. And that's what, now, you said you believe in Judeo-Christian values, right? Don't you know, according to the Judeo-Christian values, it says that you have to examine a matter first before you then speak on it. So you can't say we're out here fighting for the rights of anybody, because we're not.
With the rights of yourselves, the rights of your religion.
We're not. I'm fighting for the liberation of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, and I'm calling for the justice of Black, Hispanic, and Native
In
Indian.
this country, right?
No. In the world.
You're not in
the entire planet Earth.
We're not.
Hold on.
Y'all are not. Y'all are here.
Y'all, like talking about just me in
Yes.
particular? Or are you talking about my group?
The Sakari.
Sakari is international, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Y'all
Sakari is in Africa, sir.
Yes. Y'all group.
Our group is in Africa,
This
yes.
group here. You specifically.
But it's something called an organization. It branches further than just
But
the
your
boardwalk of Mission
fight
Beach.
is here.
No. It's not. Well, what I'm saying is that I'm speaking to you because you're right here in front of me.
Yeah.
But no. Just because I'm here speaking to you in America doesn't mean I'm here arguing the causes of America.
Because you care about my liberation and the liberation of other people's lives.
No.
Hold on. I am here having a conversation
Yes,
with you.
fucking no pills. You fucking kidding me?
The liberation that's coming to the Black, Hispanic, and
Oh,
Native
man.
Indian, and the
Go read the Bible.
justice that is coming. I'm not here petitioning. I'm not here trying to sit up and
What happened?
what needs to be
Ah,
done.
my
I'm
nigga
here
Khan
to
had no
plead
kills.
God's
That
right
shit
to
funny as hell.
That's why you said
For
we
That's
real?
what it
fighting for the
is. You
rights.
know what I'm
Yeah.
doing, bro.
Everybody's rights.
Hey, know what I need
Because
y'all
Khan
to
crazy
do?
as
Con,
I
shit.
need y'all to watch my
rights that
live
actually deserve
so y'all can see the niggas that's cheating.
You a
Report it.
Judeo-Christian as well?
I'm a biblical Christian.
Biblical Christian. I said
Con
you.
busy over
And
there.
Django, that's how it's
I need y'all
done,
to
man.
watch my
The
live.
Bible
Yeah, I
says
know. That's yeah. Check me out, nigga.
That's how it's done. Look at it,
Yeah,
man.
check me out, nigga.
what is
Yeah,
justice
you,
look like
you,
to you guys?
yeah, you number two.
If we talked about justice, what is
Ain't
being
worried about
done?
the
But I stay
kids,
number
bro.
one.
I ain't worried
I'm
about
letting
the
you have a
kids.
little shine.
No, it
I
says
don't
you
like to
number
be
two.
stingy. I
It
don't like to
says
be
you number. It
stingy.
says you number
What is
two though.
justice
I don't like.
for you guys?
So I'm over here cooking. I ain't worried about the kids.
For
I'm
black
over here
people.
recording
For
people.
black people,
Justice for black
Recording
people.
haters.
Do you think that they deserve it?
Recording all you motherfuckers.
Right? Both of you guys say they deserve it. What does it look like? Demonstrate. Just give me a brief
Keep playing the game.
synopsis.
that's what it looks like. Why?
Okay, tell me about Wyoming and why is that justice?
Small government, freedom. I own my property. They don't
You
tell
don't
me
own your
what
property.
to do. They don't tell me. Yeah, I pay property tax.
You do not own your property.
But
You see,
as compared to
no, but here's my thing. Do you see that? Remember, they were supposed to give us freedom. Where's our 40 acres and a mule? I don't even like using that, but you go to property. It's like, you see what I'm saying? So I don't even like using that because it's like, that's a part of the promise that was made during the Reconstruction era, right after the Civil War. When the North won the war, they went in and started making all of these promises to these newly alleged freed slaves. And 150 years later, they have still not made good. Why would you want any black person to be patriotic to a land or to a government, to a system that has not even made good on their promises? Are you heterosexual? Would you stay with a woman that keeps making promises to you? Or she just keep fucking you over and over again? And you just gonna stick with her because she made the promise back when y'all first got together? After you first caught her cheating? After you first caught her in bed with another man? She says, I promise, baby, I promise, I promise. She's never made good on that promise. You gonna stick with her? No. So why do you do that with America?
77
Why do you want black people to do that with America?
Why would I want? I was never made a promise.
Yes, you were.
My ancestors, maybe my ancestors were. I wasn't.
Hold on.
So what I asked for is freedom. I got that in a red state. Here, I know y'all ain't got that.
Wait.
I know all the regulations. I get that.
So wait.
So why would I want? I wouldn't
You
want.
don't even sound like a Republican. Republicans don't want freedom. Republicans are conservatives. They want to be ran and orchestrated by morals and values, and they want those things to influence the law. Are you pro-life or pro-choice? That's not freedom.
Why would I want anarchy?
No. You gotta understand something. I am not arguing.
This. Some people look at as not freedom.
No. What's your name, bro? Taz. Tay. What's this? We agree. I'm not trying to condemn you for having a conservative perspective. I'm more so along the lines of conservative. I'm just not a patriot, so I'm not going to choose Democrat or Republican because I have no political interest in the furtherance of this country. I want this country to be destroyed because that's what you do with corrupt. That's what you do with corrupt and molded and destroyed places. What you're trying to do is you're trying to turn a hoe into a housewife, and you can't do it. She's been shaking ass, selling ass, and giving it away since she has been able. And now she's grown, and you think she's so pretty. And because of her experiences with so many different men, she has a great personality. But you think you're finna take her out of those streets, and you're gonna bring her home and put an apron around her waist, and then turn her into a domestic individual. She's not. She's going to be humping on your neighbor. She's going to be humping on your brother. And shit, nowadays, she might even try to hump on your mom or your damn sister.
She a hoe.
She's a hoe? Shut up.
What happens when
And America's a hoe.
when you got 50 of them?
50 what?
And there's one of them that's a virgin. Ain't never forced no mask mandate. Ain't never forced somebody.
It's Wyoming, what? What is it? Trying to sell Wyoming.
I want you to understand something. Is Wyoming still subject to federal law? Yes or no?
You don't love this. In Wyoming, federal agents can't enforce gun law.
Is Wyoming subject to federal law?
In some way.
So,
But that's what the government.
I want you to understand something. I want you to understand something. I'm not arguing against your conservative views or perspective, but I want you to understand how you're conflicting. You're gonna bring up how you're conservative. I asked you earlier. It's all record. Clearly, you're Republican. You're conservative. Cool. I have no problem with that. Like I said, if I was patriotic, I'd be more of a Republican. Just offer the views alone.
Yeah.
But you understand the conservative approach does not equal freedom. Because remember, the conservative approach is based off of Judeo-Christian values, which this does not promote freedom.
For some people, it wouldn't look like that.
Nobody can go into this book and say that anything is you have freedom. You are obligated by the God of this book. You are obligated by the laws of this book and the God of this book to perform and to So you gotta pick a side. Which one do you want to be? You want to be on the side of freedom, and do you want to be a conservative, but then utilize freedom to sell people, which is exactly what the goddamn Democrats have been doing, which is a disguise. It's all fools, and that's how they get us to fall into the damn trap. Remember, I don't. No. They give you the appearance of freedom. Again, if I can go out and be sexually liberated. I can go and be, economically liberated. I can go do all of these different. Remember, they're the liberals. That's the liberal side. They want to push these laws where you can do whatever the hell it is that you want. Whereas on the Republican side, you guys are saying, look, when they give you the opportunity to do this, look at the effects of it.
I think they give anarcho tyranny. They let the smaller people do whatever they want, right? They won't show up to calls, whatever. But on the high end, you regulate people's businesses. They destroyed big small businesses during COVID. They regulate the small businesses. They help the big businesses, and then they give you the look of freedom. Republicans, man, I disagree. On the
Republicans are giving people the ability to do. As a Republican, the Democrats, as a Republican, do you want women to have the option, the freedom to go and kill their baby if they want to?
No, it's murder.
That's not freedom.
That you can't. You're not free to murder people. I know, like the Democrats allow you to murder people, but
do you understand? Me and you agree. That's according to the Judeo-Christian standard.
But like, even from a libertarian perspective, you have the non-aggression principle. Like that breaks the non-aggression principle from a libertarian.
I'm saying all of it, both sides, Democrat and Republican, violate the concept of freedom that they're trying to push because one side is going to put sanctions on you, and the other side is going to put sanctions on you, all based off of their own personal way and their own personal agenda, what they want to do. And listen, and their objective and their ambitions have negatively affected the black community, which makes them poor, which deprives them of resources and opportunity, which then turns around and puts black people back against the wall, where they now have to go and resort to desperate measures to go and provide a living for themselves. It's something called the Vietnam War. It's something called the welfare state and the war on poverty, right? Which then turn around and literally handicap and collapse the community. But you're gonna say, see, that's the Democratic Party. I totally understand, but at the end of the day, guess what? There's been Republican presidents since then, and when they get in there, they do nothing. When they get in there, they do nothing.
You gotta hit from the local level. Your state is way more important than the president. The president deals with foreign policy. All Trump can do is get us out of war. All Biden can do is get us out of war.
Was it a state thing that implemented the war on poverty? Yes or no? Or was it the president?
It was the president. Who enforced it? Who enforces it, though?
No. The president comes up with the legislation and the policy itself, and then, as him being the chief executive officer, they then turn around and
they need state power. So if your state,
what makes the Republican Party so weak that it can't counter something that the Democratic Party put out?
it's illegal federally.
No.
Yes, it's illegal federally.
When?
It's illegal. It is. It's all illegal. Illegal. That's what he said.
Illegal. That's what I said. It's not legal.
Say, F you. We're not gonna.
They're not saying F you. They're not saying F you.
Yes.
No. There's something called leniency. There are leniencies there. But if they wanted to enact on it, they could. That's why I knew you didn't own your fucking land in Wyoming.
There's not enough federal
That's why I knew you didn't.
to do anything.
You said there's not enough?
There's not enough federal agents to do anything in 50 states.
But what does that have to do with the Republican Party being so weak that it cannot counter a policy that the Democratic Party put out? You're telling me that this policy that Lyndon B. Johnson put out is just so powerful, and the Republican Party just lacks so much that when they take the presidency seat, they can't do anything about what's been
We
done.
already did.
With what?
Each state. Wyoming already did.
What did they do?
Their welfare is so small. Their Medicaid is so small.
And their black community is small as hell too.
So the black community is involved locally so that they get rid of this welfare state that says you can't have a man in the home. You can't own a $3,000 vehicle. You can't do this. You can't do that. Oh, unless you want to keep getting that check.
I'm not understanding. Okay, what point are you making? I hear you.
What I'm making is you work locally.
Okay.
That local system will fight the state and will fight, and then if you can get the state,
Somebody look at the drug demographic in Wyoming. I want to see because here's
meth. Meth.
it's meth amongst blacks too.
I don't know.
Look up the drug use, and if people doing this because they're poor.
Yeah, Wyoming's pretty decent.
You said Wyoming is pretty decently poor. What I was going to ask you is, again, you still haven't explained to me what does justice look like for black people in America?
Freedom. But what I mean is Judeo-Christian freedom.
There is no such thing as Judeo-Christian freedom.
Yes.
Judeo-Christian values is very subject. You're definitely subject to authority. It's a hierarchy. It's a dictatorship.
But what I'm saying, what natural law follows the Bible.
What's natural law?
I don't shoot you because you'll shoot me, right? I don't want
The Bible doesn't teach you that.
Right, it doesn't.
What did God
tells you not to
I report all you
Are you
motherfuckers.
familiar with God told the
I'll get a whole bunch of thank yous in the morning.
Israelites to do to the people of Canaan?
Especially you.
What did he tell them to do?
Take that bitch
Did
ass.
he tell them to murder them?
Man, woman, child, and beast.
Yeah. All of it.
Same thing with the Amalekites, right?
Yep.
So how is that natural law?
What I'm saying is it follows natural law. Maybe not the Bible itself, but I'm saying the teaching.
What it is.
He mad niggas wasn't playing. I'm just
Con,